Yes people, in this video I'm going to show you how to actually succeed with dropshipping, and this is coming from someone who's generated well over 7 figures in revenue with Shopify dropshipping in the past few years, and as you can see he has complete location freedom currently in Greece at the moment, in a 3-bedroom villa, 15k a month, pounds, around 18k euros. But I'm going to head inside because I don't know if you can tell, but the wind here is ridiculous. But I'm just going to sit down and show you guys the raw reality of what it actually takes to make money and how to actually succeed with Shopify dropshipping. As I know it's something that you've probably seen a lot on the internet, people saying you can make millions from it, people saying that you can make thousands per day. And first I just want you to know that it is true. I've personally done it and I'm living proof of that. Pardon me. And it is something that you can definitely do and make money from, enough money to retire at the age of 22, and also enough money to travel to luxury villas like the one I'm staying in just now. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, to show you as to why you should listen to myself. But getting straight to the point, the secret to actually making money with Shopify dropshipping is a few things, and I think I've boiled it down to 3 things really, is what it takes. And I'll cover them, and the most important one will be the last one, so if you stick to the end you'll be able to figure it out. But with Shopify dropshipping, the first thing it takes to actually make money from it, let's say obviously not just a couple £100 or a couple £1,000, but actually millions, and actually enough money to change the whole trajectory of your life. So the first thing you need to do is have the right mindset. That's number one. And so with your mindset, you need to actually believe it's possible and believe it will work. And sometimes it does take someone like myself, who's maybe the same age as you or similar age or from a similar place in the world, to actually show you that it is possible. Because sometimes if something's only kind of an idea and if you haven't actually seen anyone do it, then it won't get done. And a good example of that is the 4-minute mile. So the 4-minute mile, it used to be thought that if someone was going to be able to run a mile in 4 minutes, that they would die. That it was impossible to do, like basically just based on our genes and that kind of thing, until a university student called Roger Bannister went and done it. And after he did it, he was the first person in history to ever do it. Within the span of a couple of weeks, tens of people, or even now thousands of people have done it, because now that they saw, look, it is possible, all the people went and attempted it. But because they never had the belief that it was possible, they never even tried it. The good thing about that story, well, twofold, is one, that after he did it, within the span of a couple of days, let's say, or a couple of weeks, people started doing it also, because they now saw that it was possible. And two, he wasn't some superstar athlete, or he wasn't some genetically gifted person. He was a medical student, someone who just had the idea and who was delusional enough to believe he could do something, went ahead and done it. So it wasn't like superhuman, and he was no better than anyone else. He just had the right belief. And so I do think, let's say, all the tactical stuff is important in life. Obviously, for instance, in running, but in terms of dropshipping, the tactical stuff is important. Finding winning products, creating websites, customer service, advertising, direct response, all the stuff you need to learn is important, but the most important thing is always the mindset. It's always your kind of beliefs, because if you don't believe something to be true, look, your beliefs dictate your worldviews. And so if you, let's say, don't believe something to be possible, you won't even go ahead and try it. So hopefully this does motivate you, and hopefully you probably saw more of my YouTube videos, or you've seen me on Instagram and saw the lifestyle I live. And I've also seen where I came from £150 a week, came from the holes in the shoes. So that used to be my reality, and now this is my reality now. Let's say generated 7 figures and have complete financial and location and time freedom. So that's number one, is in order to actually make it with dropshipping, is one, mindset, having the right beliefs. The second thing is, I'd say, advertising. So understanding how to actually advertise. Finding winning products and creating websites isn't too difficult to do. For me, it's not difficult at all, because I know how to do it. And for me, something's only difficult if you don't know the answer. And so for you, or for someone who's a complete beginner, obviously there's that initial learning curve. However, the most important thing that drives results and moves the needle is definitely advertising. So if you can learn how to advertise, that's a skill that will pay you for the rest of your life. Even if it isn't dropshipping that you go ahead and do, it's basically any business does require advertising. Anything you've ever bought is more than likely been advertised. This hoodie, just a Zara hoodie, it's been advertised. These phones, Apple phones, have been advertised. This MacBook, it has been advertised. This camera, every single thing that you can see in your vicinity has been advertised. So if you can learn how to advertise and make people want to buy stuff and push them over the edge and make money as a result of doing that, you'll make hundreds of thousands or millions in your life. And so advertising is a massive part to being successful with dropshipping, because there's two things. Most people's attempt at dropshipping is doing organic, which is they aren't spending any money on paid ads, they don't know how to run Facebook ads or TikTok ads, they just post content and post it to Instagram or TikTok and hope the algorithm picks it up, and they just do that. And that's their kind of strategy is hit and hope. And don't get me wrong, you can make money organically by posting content. I've done it myself. That's how I started out. Organically. I didn't have any money for paid ads, and I learned how to kind of make money and go viral. But that's another thing, most people don't know how to go viral, and that's simply what advertising is. You're making content that converts. So yeah, make content is the most important thing, and if you do have something that works organically, if you do put money behind it and start running it as paid media, you literally print money, and that's a skill that is life changing. If you have the ability to put in £1 and make £5 out or £3 out, and if you can do that every day consistently and repeatedly, you can make thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions at scale. So that's the second thing. First thing is mindset, second thing is learning how to advertise and actually be willing to invest in learning the skill, because it is a skill, and most people's attempt at advertising is stealing people's content online and posting it up and hoping it works. That's never going to work. And if you treat it like a side hustle, you'll get side hustle results. So yeah, if you take it serious, actually learn how to do it properly and kind of invest time into it, you'll achieve success. So that's the second thing, is advertising. And the final thing is actually treating it like a business. So like I mentioned earlier, if you treat it like a side hustle, you'll get side hustle results, and that applies to anything in life. If imagine you want to become a chef and you're learning how to become a chef, if you watch one YouTube video and try and cook a meal, it won't be as good as if you watch 1,000 and you do 100 test runs and you cook 100 meals and then you can then cook a meal and give it to someone else to test. So if you actually treat something like a business, and that's the thing with dropshipping, it's so easy to start and the barrier of entry is so low that so many people can start it, and that's kind of, it's not put a bad name on it, but most people do start it. They're young, they're naive, they think they can make a gazillion pounds tomorrow, and that's not the reality of it. This is a real business. Making 10k a month or 20k a month or 60k a month profit is a real business. And the thing is, since it's on a laptop, or since it's kind of so scalable and so easy to do, most people think it isn't kind of a real business. Even myself, like there was a point where I was making a lot of money and I wasn't even treating it like a real business. But yeah, when I say treat it like a real business, have a team, track your numbers, track your metrics, have customer support. Every single, like even just basic stuff as well, like have an accountant, like the stuff that every real business must have, you must implement into your dropshipping business. And if you do that, the results will compound. Even for instance, just hiring like a videographer or an editor if you want to actually have high quality content for your stores or for your websites. Or it's so crazy to me, like the more I do, the more I realise I can do. And if I look back at my first attempts at anything, so my first product test or my first website I created or the first kind of anything I did, or even my first creatives in terms of my advertising, it's so bad. But at the time it was, I thought it was good. And that's the thing, like you don't need to be perfect, you just need to start. And let's say with quantity becomes quality. So the more you do, the more you realise you can do, and you'll get better. Just make constant improvements, constant iterations, and next thing you know, you'll be able to kind of make 7 figures and travel wherever it is you want in the world on a minute's notice. I literally booked this villa within, I think it was 2 a.m. when I booked it, and my flight was at 3, so literally having complete freedom to do whatever I want. But yeah, it's the final thing, treat it like a business, and if you do, you'll be surprised what you can achieve if you stick your mind at it, and don't get distracted, because ultimately if you quit, the only reason why this won't work is if you don't work. Do you know what I mean? Most businesses fail, but how can a business fail? It's not a thing, it's like only a person can fail. Do you know what I mean? So that's what happens when most people say, oh, dropshipping doesn't work. It does work, but they didn't work. And so yeah, that's the same with, let's say, most businesses fail. Most businesses don't fail. Most people fail because they aren't ready. They don't put in the work. They don't do enough research. They give up. And so as long as you do that, put in the work, don't quit, and become obsessed, you can make hundreds of thousands, millions, and hopefully this inspires you and shows you how to actually make money with dropshipping. None of that online forex or whatever, people that pretend to live a lifestyle and then just say it's they're forex traders, which every influencer does because they don't have a skill set and don't know how to actually run a business. But this is how to actually physically run a business and yeah, do it properly. So hopefully this has motivated you guys and shown you it is actually possible. If you would like my help to work with you one-on-one and help you and teach you scale up to the level that I'm at now, you can book in a call using the link in the description to have me mentor you. Otherwise, feel free to check out my other YouTube videos and try and give it a shot on your own. Either way, hopefully it works for you guys and motivates you. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.